Hello there, how are you? This is Dave, and welcome to Revved Up and Roasted Episode 2. So I really appreciate you checking this out. Hopefully you're able to watch the first one there, which was featuring a place called Silk City Coffee in Manchester. Loved it. Great people, phenomenal vibe. The iced vanilla latte, if you did watch the video on my new little Rev meter there, it was an 8250 out of 9,000, so that's pretty good rating. Very big fan. And one of the cool things about that place is one of the owner's manager, I think he's actually maybe the general manager, he recommended this place we're going to feature today called Shop 2 Coffee in Marlborough, Connecticut. And the reason he recommended it, not in addition to the fact that it's great, is that I explained what we're doing here with Revved Up and Roasted, and he said, hey, you got to go check out Shop 2. Car themes, really, the guy who owns it loves cars, whatever. So I've been there a couple times, and most recently I stopped in for a kind of cars and coffee thing that they were doing. Got some footage, so I'm going to feature some of that, but what I'm hopefully do is zip down there again today in the 911 GTS and talk to him and maybe just a little bit about the business itself. And we'll do this, as best we can. In some cases, these places are busy and we don't want to bother them and all that, but we're going to have a lot of fun little features here on Revved Up and Roasted, and it's going to grow and evolve. And if you have places you love, coffee places that intersect maybe with the car culture or vice versa, please let us know, put it in the comments, send it our way, and we'll be glad to check it out. So anyways, without further ado, let's jump in my 911 GTS and let's go check out Shop 2 Coffee in Marlborough. Good morning, Dave, Revved Up and Roasted, on the road again. So I'm looking forward to this. This place definitely has a car theme, so we'll get some shots inside. But what I'm really excited about today is the fact that they are doing a cars and coffee. So this is what this, the channel we're hoping to do is that eventually get into some stuff where we can do some smaller little meetups or just talk to people who have cars that come out to these events and whatever. But the main focus, of course, is showcasing the awesome businesses that I'm going to go check out. And today we will do that at Shop 2 in Marlborough, Connecticut. So taking the 911 GTS, it is a beautiful late April day today. It's supposed to hit like 83 degrees here in Connecticut. It's a little overcast right now, but honestly, I'm kind of digging that. Of course, we've got a little sun coming up now, so I do have to put the glasses on. But yeah, so it looks like a great day for driving, and we're going to check in just a few when we get to Shop 2 for their cars and coffee. Yeah, boy. See if we can get a little of that exhaust howl going here. There it is. Man, this car sounds purty when it gets up to that 7,000 RPM. Love it. So as I'm driving out here to Shop 2 Coffee in Marlborough, I wanted to give a shout out to my homegrown bean that I use all the time when I make my coffee in the morning. Usually a couple of cups a day if I'm staying in, and that is a company called Six Depot. Their beans, I think they actually are, espresso beans, but I know they have some varieties like a lot of these places do. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it's one of my favorite beans by far. So if you are in the general New England area, I'm sure they ship out because I know we get them, mailed to us and stuff. But again, they're called Six Depot, and at some point I'll be doing a review of them, and when I do my review at home of my homegrown latte. But yes, definitely check out Six Depot. Fantastic coffee. There's not any in here right now because I'm going to this coffee place, obviously, and for their cars and coffee. So I'm going to try something there. But again, staying home or taking it on the road, definitely check out Six Depot. All right, so we're headed over here to Shop 2. We're getting close. Marlborough's kind of a quiet little town. It's like a little bit rural and farmish town, and it's in like a nice, cool little plaza from what I recall. There's some nice shops there. I know last time I was there, my wife bought some stuff, but you'll see as we pull in. A little tricky in the parking lot from my recollection, kind of muddy or dirty or gravelly, but that's all right. We're gonna make it work. All right, here we go. Got some cars here. Take my time pulling in. You can already see some cars parked over there. A little crinkly. Back up over here. So I wanted to sit down and talk to Caleb, who is the owner and the proprietor here at Shop 2 Coffee. So of course, the first question I have to ask before we get to car stuff is, where does the name Shop 2 come from?
So Shop 2 was like our original shop. It's where we used to roast. But inside that space, we also do a lot of car stuff. So we restore cars.
Yep, nice.
So we, as a joke, we're calling this like Shop 2.
Gotcha.
Trying to figure out a new name, and then it just stuck. So we just kept to it.
Okay, yeah. Awesome, good. Yeah, I think you might have even told me that the first time I came here, but I had forgotten. So where, with me, I always tell people that, coincidentally, like the love of cars for me came from my mom. A lot of people always assume it's the dad. For me, it was my mom. Where did your love of cars come from?
Hot Wheels.
Really?
Yeah,
Hot
actually,
Wheels. Oh, wow.
My parents weren't super into cars, but I was always obsessed with it, and my brother got into it, and it's been snowballing since.
Wow, yep. Cool. All right, interesting. I was a big fan of the loop Hot Wheel thing, and the track, and putting those all together, so that's really awesome. So, of course, the natural segue would be, where did your love or desire to get into coffee come from?
So coffee, we've been into coffee probably longer than we've been into cars. When I was about 10 years old, my mom picked up an espresso machine at Goodwill for $5 and gave it to my brother and I. Okay. We started making espresso like crazy, and it was all terrible. But since then, we've kind of progressed. We started roasting with Daybreak when we were like 12, at least I was.
Yep.
Then from there, a couple years later, we bought our first roaster, and then we've been roasting ever since. It's been close to like 15 years of roasting for us. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So you were hooked with Daybreak over in Glastonbury?
Yeah. That's where we first learned how to roast.
Okay.
Yep.
That was a place I used to live there years ago. I used to stop in quite a bit.
They were like the original roaster back in the day.
What made you pick this particular space? I love it. It's really quaint, cool shops around. But
so we wanted to open a brick and mortar. We were food trucking for a long time, getting sick of it. And we were kind of shopping around. We looked at Middletown. We looked at a couple different towns. But Carly, the landlord, actually approached us about doing it. And my wife over there was the one that really set the whole thing up. So, yeah, we came in, it was an empty space, and we're like, this is perfect.
Well, I guess another question would be, so if you had a dream car you could see pull in here and grab one of your coffees, what would it be?
That is a really good question. I would have to say vintage Ferrari, any vintage Ferrari. 60s, I think that would make my day.
And then usually the last thing I'll ask somebody is, okay, so if somebody, other than, of course, they've heard great things about you, whatever, they love coffee, what would be the beverage, the thing that you make, what would be the one thing you'd say, you've got to come down here and try this?
Our number one, and it has been since we opened, is the maple latte.
Okay.
Yeah, we get it from a farm that's like local. They do an amazing job with the maple syrup.
Nice.
But it's such a simple drink, but it's still number one. So that's what I would say. It's like our staple.
Yeah, I appreciate you sitting down with me. This place is great, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, totally, man.
All right, that was so great to be able to talk to Caleb, the owner of Shop 2 Coffee here in Marlborough, Connecticut. Great guy, very passionate about what he does, so I want to thank him. It was much appreciated to spend a little time. So without further ado, and I'm going to stop saying that because I feel like that's been said for 300 years in videos and movies and shows. But anyways, we're going to get into the review of the Iced Vanilla Latte. Now, To be fair, when I came here the first time, I did record a little review of that, and it was inside. It was a little noisy. The sound quality wasn't great. So I'm going to redo it since I came here today to do some follow-ups with him. And yeah, so I'm going to give it the same review because I just had another one. This is actually my second inside, and I'm sure it's going to taste just as good. But let's give it a little sip. They do a bourbon-infused vanilla for their iced vanilla latte, and this is just slowly becoming my favorite. I do the same thing at home. I throw a little Angel's Envy, mix it in with the vanilla syrup, and good stuff. Just phenomenal. So, again, one more quick sip of the iced vanilla latte with a little hint of oat milk. It is divine. It is wonderful. So, now we need to move into the Rev meter, of course, and the review or the score of this exceptionally wonderful iced vanilla latte from Shop 2 Coffee is... And yes, that's it, 82.50. That is now tied with Silk City, who these two are friendly, actually, the two businesses. Silk City was who recommended I try this place. So we've got two iced vanilla lattes now at 82.50, 100 RPM. Wow, good stuff. I, of course, am keeping this a little low. I mean, both of those probably could have even been an 8,500, to be honest. But I'm trying to dial it back a little bit like they always do with the Olympics, because I don't want to give away any big numbers too early. Because I got a lot of coffee places to check out. We got a lot of features we're adding to these videos. They're going to be 85 minutes by the time we're done with all this. I'm just kidding. Who'd ever want to listen to me for that long? I don't even want to listen to myself that long. Shut up! Shut up! Anyways, 82.50, exceptional coffee. Love it. Go check out Shop 2. If you don't, you're a dunderhead. You're absolutely a dunderhead if you don't like, subscribe, share this video, tell everybody. Of course, as I always say, just, be a good human being. Go out there, tell people when they're doing something great, like Caleb here at the coffee place, that he's doing a great job. Just be awesome, be cool, enjoy your life, and drink more coffee, drive cool cars, be safe. And until next time, here comes the big slogan, folks. You stay revved up and roasted. Bye!